Hi everyone, in this video we are going to discuss your diet. So up until this point we've already discussed what carbs are, what proteins are, what fats are. We've talked about what happens when you put them into your body and how much energy is actually produced when you actually burn each one of these pieces. We've also talked about exercise, and now the last piece of the puzzle is we're going to talk about your diet. And so now I'm not going to get very preachy on you and tell you what you should be eating, what you shouldn't be eating. That's completely up to you, and that's your own decision and your own prerogative. But what I do want to tell you is that our dietary advice is always changing. And so the older you get, the more you're going to realize this, but we are always changing our information, and that's because science is always changing. We're getting new information and we're adapting our current theories. So let's look back to way back in the day before I was born, what we used to promote here in the United States. So in 1958, we used to say you need to eat the basic four. So you have to have some bread and cereal. You're supposed to have 4 or more servings. You're supposed to have some milk and dairy products, 2 to 3 servings. You're supposed to eat meat, poultry, fish, eggs, beans, and nuts. We put that all together, 2 or more servings. And then the last one was fruits or vegetables. So that was good. Right around the 1990s, we realized that wasn't perfectly balanced. That wasn't great. And so what I learned when I was growing up was the food pyramid. And so you always drew the pyramid and you knew you had a big section on the bottom, which is your bread, cereal, and grains. Then on top of that, you have a big section of veggies, so 3 to 5 servings. And then fruits, we learned you have to have less or fewer fruits are supposed to be ingested. On top of layer 2, you have layer 3, where we say you have your milk, yogurt, and cheese, 2 to 3 servings, but you also have your meat section, also 2 to 3 servings. And at the very, very top, we put fats, oils, and sweets all at the very top, and we said use sparingly. So try to avoid your fat intakes, try to avoid your sweet intakes. So that's what I grew up on, and I can't even tell you how many of these food pyramids I've had to draw out. And we used to have to do them on paper plates. It was awful. All right, so then in 2005, the new thing came out, which was called MyPlate. And so what they try to do is they, instead of having a pyramid that's stacked this way, they had a pyramid that's stacked this way, okay, open and closed. And so this way, it was just trying to tell you portions or general portions. And so you can see here, you're supposed to have about as much cereal as you already have vegetables. You're definitely supposed to have less fruit than veggies, less milk than fruits, less oils than milk. And then meats and beans are kind of at the very end, which of course is your protein section. And now our current theory is what is called MyPlate. And so 2011 and now, from now on currently, we are currently looking at MyPlate. That's the current theme. And so basically for this theory, it's just that you take your plate and you divide it into 4 sections. And your biggest section should be your veggies, followed by your grains, and then your fruit and your proteins kind of battle it out for how much. And then they just say, hey, have a little glass of milk with that as well. And what I want to do is try to encourage you to go to choosemyplate.com and actually look, or excuse me, .gov, and actually look at the website. So I have it here for you. It's really easy and it's cute. They have a fresh new look. They just redesigned it very, very recently. But you can go through here and look at all this stuff. You can look at your own plate, figure out how much you should be eating. You can look at weight and calories. It gives you a great explanation of calories. It also explains what empty calories are. So those things that you're just eating and you're packing on calories and they're really not good for you. But you also can come down here and look at the actual plate. And so as you look and hover over each one of these, it changes. So you can say, hey, here's some veggies. Tells you about vegetables, and you can actually click on the food gallery. You could do the same thing for grains, same thing for protein. It's a beautiful resource, and I highly encourage all of you to go to this website. So the last thing I want to do here, instead of telling you what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat, I just want to remind you that these crazy low-fat diets or no-carb diets are fads. They're crazy. They're not good for you. They're extreme diets. They're really, really unhealthy. And the reason being is that they are something that people cannot withstand for their entire life. You do not do these crazy Atkins diets or no-carb diets for 30 days and then you just stop and you go back to your regular eating habits. There's no point of even doing that to your diet. It shocks your system. It's actually worse for your body to do that. What you need to do is have a healthy lifestyle. Just eat well in general. Splurge. You can eat a cookie. You can eat a cake. Not a whole cake. A piece of cake, maybe. But as long as it's in proportion, it's fine, okay? But you really, really, really need to be eating your vegetables. If you can just make sure that you're getting a lot of veggies, a lot of green stuff, you're going to be feeling better, functioning better, everything's going to be working just much better, and eventually when you start weaning yourself off those sugary sweets and drinks and everything, your body just actually feels better and you feel like you have more energy, you're less lethargic. All right, so now I'm getting off my soapbox, and I'm going to ask you 2 questions here really quickly. First one, true or false? You should eat more grain than veggies. Now, we are using the Choose My Plate model because this is our current model, okay? So this is the choosemyplate.gov. True or false? More grain than veggies. Go. Did you get an answer? Hopefully you did. Should you eat more grain than veggies? Absolutely not. You should definitely not eat more grain than veggies. This is false. Veggies are something you want to eat the most of. Next question. You should eat more protein than veggies. True or false? Go. Did you get an answer? Hopefully you did, and this answer is also false. You should definitely not eat more protein than veggies. So for our class, when we're going to put it in an order based on the current information that we have, you should be eating the most veggies, followed by grain, followed by protein, followed by fruit. Okay, I'm not really putting dairy in there because it's really hard to do that based on the plate, and I want you to just look at the plate because that's what our current model is. So for our model, for the food that you're actually eating, veggies first, then grain, then protein, then fruit. Have a great week, take care of yourself, and eat your frickin' veggies. Do it!